Okay, class, let's take a look. We are still in the abhidhamma, and according to our... Okay, please off the mic. Let's take a look. We stop here, 5 material sphere consciousness, meaning to say that we already finished the sense sphere consciousness in the previous lesson. Why do we stay here? It's because we already start to explore this regards this. This is the what? 4 classes of the consciousness. Okay, class basically in Abhidhamma study, a few things you have to take note of. Okay, number 1, everybody know that Abhidhamma study, I can say that this is the what? Very difficult, not a nice word. I can say that if you do very well in Abhidhamma, okay, either Nikaya or Yogacara and Madhyamaka, you will feel easy for you. Because Abhidhamma, maybe I can say that Abhidhamma is like a bread and Nikaya is like a flour. So after you, put some yeast to the flour and ferment it, it will turn out become the bread. Okay, so meaning to say that you can find everything in the bread and also you can find everything in the Nikaya. So that's why it's easier for you. Okay, but and also same, likewise, if you heard about Yogacara Bhumi and also the Madhyamaka, basically both of them are emphasized on meditation. So including Abhidhamma, but the structure, they all come from Abhidhamma. And lastly is the Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism is the bread by putting some cream. Yes, that's why basically Tibetan Buddhism, the secret school, it should be, can flourish many people because a lot of cream put on the bread, meaning to say you will got more customer. Okay, but of course it will turn out become unhealthy if people just eat the cream without eating the bread. You know that or not? So there's the same thing in Buddhism. So now you're eating the bread without the cream, you feel quite dry. But anyway, if you can endure, you will have a good standard in Buddhist study. Okay, so now, a few things. Number 1, in order to avoid you miss out, you have to keep on repeat. I remember we got an examination during our Sangha training. At least you have to study in detail at least 9 to 10 times in order you can sit for the exam from my master, because he keep on interview us asking the question. If you cannot answer two questions consecutively, then he will fail you. So meaning to say that we're quite tension at that time, and I remember it is impossible to gain weight during my study in Santawan. All the fat will gone because the pressure is there. But anyway, after some training, I know this is very helpful. It's very helpful. Okay, so now number 1, you have to keep on repeat unavoidably. Second, you have to always ask your question and make full use with the diagram. Okay, then ask the question, the answer will be in the diagram, then will help you a lot. To master the Abhidhamma, just like you study your STPM subject. So let's take a look. Actually, in previous lesson, we already come to 4 classes of the consciousness. Okay, so here we got 4 classes of consciousness. Okay, yes. Okay, can you please okay, 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 Sally. Okay, so how should I put it? We work together for the diagram. So setting number 1, sense sphere chitta. Okay, there will be 3 group. Group number 1 is
unwholesome chittas,
and the condensed
rootless, greed, hatred, and delusion.
Please read the full one, the full name.
Greed-rooted chittas, hatred-rooted chittas, delusion-rooted chittas.
Okay, the second group is
ruthless chittas,
and it is consists of
unwholesome resultant, rootless functional.
Okay, then the third group is
sense sphere beautiful chittas,
and it is consists of
sense sphere wholesome, sense sphere resultant, sense sphere functional.
Okay, so once we finish the sense sphere citta, we come to the second group, which is
five material sphere cittas.
and it is consists of
Five material sphere wholesome, five material sphere resultant, five material sphere functional.
okay, and the third group is
Immaterial sphere cittas, consists of immaterial sphere wholesome, immaterial sphere resultant, immaterial sphere functional.
yes. In the very beginning, we start with the mandate cittas. Now we go to the supramandate citta.
Supramandate cittas.
It is consists of
Supramandate wholesome cittas. It consists of path of stream entry, path of one's returning, path of non-returning, path of arahantship.
and then another group
The
we call it as
supramundane resultant cittas and consists of fruit of stream entry, fruit of one's returning, fruit of non-returning, fruit of arahantship.
okay. Thank you so much, class. Can you please repeat this diagram as what we do for twice? And then please raise your hand. We continue with our lesson today. Please now. Raise hand by Zoom, please, once you finish now. One people finish. Two people finish. Okay, how? Sally and Yo, please raise hand. Don't thumb up because the Zoom will count for me. Yes, yeah, raise the hand. Okay, two people, all right. Three people finish. Okay, four people finish. Okay, thank you so much. Class, let's take a look. We continue our lesson today. Please put down your hand. Okay, let's see. So basically, we in previous lesson we talk about the definition of the citta. Basically, what does it mean? The consciousness. Actually, consciousness is a process. So this is the process, and the process is like a river. It's continuously, and throughout the process, we can analyze it microscopically. It is consists of each of the one of the citta, and within the citta, the consciousness, there will be some mental factor, all right, and a group of mental factor, they perform their own function so that they make up how the consciousness can fully perform the function. So that is the meaning of the citta. Okay, now and then we start from here. So we begin with the sense sphere consciousness. The previous lessons, sense spheres mean what? You see here, that is the karma, meaning to say we are craving for the sense pleasure, and also meaning to say that we got an object. We have a craving, and then we got an object for being craved. So that is a sense sphere consciousness. Basically, this is the world we are living. We are very familiar. Okay, through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, we are craving to everything. But of course, besides the craving, we also use our five senses to do a lot of good deeds. Like recently in Turkey and Syria, well, there is a 7.8 of magnitude of earthquake, and we noticed that almost the whole world try to helping. Hey, have you ever discovered that actually Ukraine and Russia, they also helping? It means what? It means human will help each other when there's a catastrophe, you know. If the whole world is very peace, they start to fight already. So maybe the best way to unite for us, maybe one day if an alien come and attack the earth, then we all will unite together. Maybe. You notice that or not? Oh, now they are giving the help, you know. Oh, I checked. Oh, Russian and also Ukraine, they sent a plane, but not a very big help. But you see how we noticed that this is how to unite the people. Okay, so besides we say sense, five senses. This is the sense plane, but actually we develop a lot of favorable consciousness. Okay, so the second one is the five material sphere. Yes, okay. Guan San, can you please read the passage? Five material sphere consciousness. Rupa, Vachara, Chitta. Yes.
Five material sphere consciousness, Rupa, Vakara, Citta. The five material sphere is the plane for consciousness corresponding to the five material plane of existence, Rupa Bhumi, or the plane of consciousness pertaining to the state of meditative absorption called the Rupa Jhanas. Any consciousness which mostly moves about in this realm is understood to belong to the five material sphere. The Rupa Jhanas are so called because they are usually attained in meditation by concentrating on a material object, Rupa, which may be device such as the earth kasina, etc. Okay, see, this is what Ix is what. Okay, or the parts of one's own body, etc. Such an object becomes the basis of which the jhanas are developed. The exalted states of consciousness attained on the basis of such objects are called Rupa Vakara Citta, consciousness of the five material sphere.
Okay, we pronounce it as a Rupa Vachara Chitta. Just pronounce as Bahasa Malaysia. Okay, so we could pronounce this as a Rupa Jhanas. Okay,
Okay.
So we highlight the point. In order to better understand the meaning of Rupa Vachana, we start with the experiment. Let's take a look, class. Okay, so I want you to experiment using the kasina, but we are using color kasina today instead of earth kasina. So this is how we try to do this. Okay, class, take a look. So you see a red kasina here, huh? Okay, please open your eye and try to grasp the object and close your eyes and make the object appear in your brain, all right? So once you can see this, just try to maintain it as long as possible, okay? If it disappeared, open your eye and grasp the object again until I call you. We experiment about 1 minute. You can start now, okay? Okay, time's up 1 minute. You can open your eye. Is there anybody managed to make the image appear? Please raise your hand. Okay. Nobody. Okay, Hui Ping Ho. So how long you can, okay, also Chun Tak, how long you can sustain, I mean the image, Hui Ping, how long you can, how many seconds about you think?
Maybe roughly 20.
20 seconds, something like that. Okay, class, basically for the training, for the Rupa Chana Chitta, if let's say Hui Ping and also Chun Tat, you are able to continue maintain it about 2 hours to 3 hours, then you are start to raising the Rupa Chara Chitta, fine sphere, fine consciousness sphere, fine consciousness, fine plane consciousness, okay, rupa vachara jhana. And if let's say you used to develop this and become a habitual, become a habit, and the moment you pass away, you will die and you reborn, become a rupa vachara resultant there, meaning to say that you become a deva. If let's say you attain the first jhana, so you will become the living being as a first jhana. The Deva is in the first jhana. And then, if you are the Deva as the first jhana, the consciousness which used to arise will be Rupa Vachana, Rupa Jhana consciousness. It wouldn't be anymore, I mean, like our human. So human, we are what we are races, the consciousness is very different with them. So that is the meaning here. So see, this is the meaning here, you see. Basically, you see, that is the five material sphere in the plane. They will be corresponding to the existent. The existent Rupa Bhumi, meaning to say that if you stay in this place, the five material, so you will be the Rupa, you will be in the plane of existence. Okay, if you stay in the plane of existence, meaning to say that the consciousness arises will be more on the five material sphere, or quite different with us. We are more in the sense pleasure, you see. We raise more on the sense sphere consciousness, but they are five material sphere consciousness. And you see, how do we develop? By concentrating on the material object. That is the kasina. That's what you experiment just now. Plus, basically, just now the kasina, if you are able to concentrate for 2 to 3 hours, then you will be requested to enlarge it. as big as possible, like a universe. Okay, you enlarge it very big. So that's why a few things from here we can deduce. Number one, if according to one how to say Bible, we remember some phrase that said that I mean he noticed that I mean the God noticed that he created the whole world and he think about the sun appeared, he think about the moon appeared. But basically class we noticed that if you're able to attain a good jhana, what you want to see, you are able to see it. You are able to create what you want. That's the things you see. So that's why in our Mahayana it's very popular for us to chant to the Kuan Yin, Amidabha. If let's say you're able to produce the jhana and you hope to see the Kuan Yin will appear. But this is a mind-made. So this is why as a senior in the Buddhism, and we teach people how to meditate, we must be able to tell them to differentiate between the real one and the mind-made one. You know not. So that's why sometimes it is quite dangerous that if you are very capable, you are very talented in meditation, but without the guide of the teaching, you might be misguided by your mind. Whatever you want, they will create for you. That is the powerful of the mind. And also, it mentioned that it will develop different part of the body. See or not? You see, here you mention, you say, you can meditate on the part of the own body. For example, you can meditate on this. We call it as aksoba. Aksoba is the fullness contemplation. Okay, fullness contemplation meaning to say that you are going to take a different part of the body to contemplate. So this is the 10 stages of the decay of the body. Okay, for example, you use the skeleton and meditate. If you can make it successfully, you will notice that everybody you see, they are become the skeleton. If that's the case, do you think it is a mind-made, it is a hallucination, or you think it is real? Hui Ping, what do you think?
Whether it is, you mean your question is whether it's real or it is actually an kind of hallucination?
Okay, number one, it is real or not real. Once you're successful in contemplate the skeleton, then everybody you see, wherever you see, they become a skeleton, you know. Real or not real, you think?
Real.
Real.
I will say it's real.
You will say it's real. Okay, so good, you say it is real. So if that's the case, how do you differentiate this real and the hallucination?
Okay.
Sometimes people they take some drugs like Guan San know very well. For example, what of the Guan San, which one of the drug is very hallucinatic, something like that create a lot of hallucination. You don't know. Maybe ketamine. A good example, ketamine, something like that. Okay, what if that's the case? What's the difference between you're taking drugs and create the hallucination and the meditation? That's the case.
I think if through meditation it is like I actually focus and I sort of may have some sort of consciousness.
And the drug, you don't have the consciousness, you mean?
I think that's actually the drugs make you numb, make you kind of like out of control.
Make you numb, make you out.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's out of our control.
Yeah, try your best. Okay, so see, so class, this is very interesting part. Okay, if let's say, Hui Ping, you say this is the real thing. Maybe, if let's say, maybe Juntak, you have been operated before and put some screw in your vertebra, then Hui Ping, you should be able to see the screw. If what you see is real one. But basically, through the experiment, no, you would able to notice that junta had been operated and there got some screw at the vertebra. So this is a good question. So if that's the case, meaning to say that whatever appeared in the meditation now, you can say partially like hallucinogenic. or hallucination is a partial hallucination. But what we see in the jhana, it is created by our mind. Because we know that everybody is come from a skeleton, so end up everybody become a skeleton. And even though it is not, it is partially made. It is partially made by our mind, but it is very effective in curbing our defilement. Basically, if you're able to see everybody become a skeleton, even though your husband, then end up you wouldn't marry anymore. How will you marry with a skeleton? Am I right? Okay. Even though we say that this is a partial like a hallucination, actually this is a very good question. Basically, have you ever heard about the psychedelic? Heard about the psychedelic? Psychedelic actually is a certain of the drug will create a hallucination. Actually, through their study, they noticed that this type of the drug can change the structure of the mind. And especially the network the network of the mind, there's certain part of the network we call as the network of the mind, which will keep on creating our wandering mind. Through meditation, we are able to shut down this network and the hallucination. And if you use this psychedelic, they will also able to shut down this network. Once the network shut down, you got another big mind for being reviewed. So psychedelic means reviewing mind. So in meditation, actually, you are reviewing your mind. The mind, if you say which one is true or not true, actually it is compared. It depends on which one you compare. If you compare the jhana with our sensual world, the jhana sounds real than this world. But if you compare the nibbana with the jhana, so the nibbana is more real. So the question is real or not real is comparatively. They are the comparative truth. You can't see the absolute truth. You can only see the absolute truth only in the nibbana only. Then the rest all is come from comparison. Okay. Yes, Hui Ping. Somewhat confusing, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's somewhat confusing.
Yeah.
So just now, when you were saying that whether I see skeletons or and whether it's real, as I was saying that it is real, it is because that's, as you said just now, because we have the experience or we have learned that human beings actually, the structure is skeleton. So I see that it makes sense that way. So that's why I find it like, if I were to be able to see someone actually, it's actually appear like a skeleton, I say that it makes sense. So that's why I think that it is real.
Yeah.
So but then later on you were saying that it's either real and then no, it's not real. But my question here is that that's important to differentiate between real or unreal.
Oh yes, real or unreal. So as I say, the effect is more important. As long as your defilement gone, that is important. Because as I say, it's not 100% real. Because if let's say I say Juntak got some screw at the back of the vertebra, you will be unable to see it, So we need to say that skeleton is true, but you're not able to see the whole thing, you see. But it doesn't matter. As long as your defilement gone, that will be good already. You see or not? According to the experiment, you wouldn't be able to see the screw at the back of the junta if he had been operated before.
So meaning that we couldn't actually see it, it's like, because logically, just now when you were saying that there's screw, I said logically, I could see the screw perhaps, because since I can see the skeletons, and if there is screw, if like I'm more observant, I should be able to see the screw.
No, the problem is because whatever you see, they all we call it as adimoksha manaskara. We need to say that they are created by your samadhi, by your jhana. Everybody turn up become a skeleton because of jhana, rupa jhana citta to create it.
Okay.
Once rupa jhana create, even though you can't see 100% true, but at that time, all the sense sphere citta will be suppressed. That's why I say the sense sphere citta is even, not real if you compare with the rupa jhana citta. Okay, never mind, we stop here. This one just more interesting only. And later we'll further study on all these types of subjects. Okay, so that's what we mentioned here. So again, we take a look. Okay, so this is a Rupa Jhana. Then lastly is the immaterial sphere consciousness. Okay. Yes, Popo, can you please read the passage?
Immaterial sphere consciousness, arupa vachara citta. The immaterial sphere is the plane of consciousness corresponding to the immaterial plane of existence, arupa bhumi, or the plane of consciousness pertaining to the immaterial absorption, the arupa jhanas. Any consciousness which mostly move about in this realm is understood to
belong to the immaterial sphere.
When one meditates to attain the formless meditative state beyond the rupa jhana, one must discard all objects connected with material form and focus upon some non-material object, such as the infinity of space. The exalted states of consciousness attained on the basis of such objects are called arupa vachara citta, consciousness of the immaterial sphere.
Please keep on.
Supramundane consciousness, lokutara citta. The word lokutara, supramundane, is derived from loka, world, and uttara, beyond, transcendent to. The concept of world is a threefold: the world of living being, sataloka, the physical universe, okasa loka, and the world of formation, sankhara loka. That is the totality of condition, phenomena, physical and mental. The notion of world relevant here is the world of formation. That is, all mundane phenomena is included within the five aggregates of clinging. Sorry, I cannot see the.
Sorry. I don't know what I pressed. Just keep on, please.
That which transcends the world of conditioned things is the unconditioned element, nibbana, and the types of consciousness that directly accomplish the realization of nibbana are called lokutara citta, supramundane consciousness. The other three types are called in distinction lokiya citta, mundane consciousness.
Okay, thank you so much. Hey, sorry, how should I should close this? Okay, I closed already. Yeah. So we highlight the point.
Sorry, Sifu, can you make slightly bigger?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Like this.
Okay.
Okay, the blind people, even the blind people can see her with this size, I think. Okay, class, if let's say we proceed from just now, we mentioned the color kasina. Okay, you can further to the immaterial sphere. How are we going to further? Okay, so if you are able to visualize, enlarge it, become very big, right? Then you will notice that actually within the kasina, there will be some space between the atom of the color. Then the space there, you try to enlarge it, then you will go into the infinite space that we call it as the immaterial sphere. So meaning to say, once you discuss all this, you will be in the immaterial sphere. That's what we see. Okay, class, basically for immaterial sphere, it is very famous and relate to Shakyamuni. So you know which part, there's one story, it's very popular and relate to Shakyamuni regarding the immaterial sphere. Siu Teongke, you know who is the character inside the story? You don't know? Okay, class. Okay, if you know, please respond to me. You remember Shakyamuni before meditate under the Buddha tree, under the Bodhi tree. Okay, he go to two meditative master, right? Meditation master, right? And both of them teach them Arupa Jhana, immaterial sphere. Remember? Yes. So the teacher, anybody know their name? Anybody know their name? Don't know, So this is their name, Class, let's take a look. It's very famous. The reason is because why the Arupa Jhana appear in the Buddhism text? Because Buddhism have learned all this before, immaterial jhana, Buddha teacher. Immaterial jhana. Okay, Buddha's Shakyamuni Buddha teacher, Buddha immaterial attainment, immaterial jhana. Who is the main teacher in the Buddhism? Buddha teacher. Just meditation. Okay, so let's check. Is this the name? Yeah, Alala Kamala. Class, please write down. So Alala Kamala. Yeah, Alala Kamala teach Shakyamuni to learn sphere of nothingness. So this is the immaterial sphere. Okay, so Alala Kamala. That is the name. Alala Kamala. If you watch the TV Buddha series, during the meditation, Shakyamuni met his master in the meditative state. He doesn't met his teacher face to face. Okay, but also either face by face or by Zoom. But directly go to their jhana, each other to meet each other. So that is Alala Kamala. Okay, so they use a different name called as the sphere of the nothingness. So this is also one of the immaterial sphere jhana. So here, immaterial sphere. Okay, so one must, okay, maybe I want to show you a little bit, how is the actual situation, Shakyamuni meet his master. So wait a moment. Okay, class, please enjoy the movie video clip now. Okay, so let me share you the screen now. Okay. Are you able to see, Sally? Yongkit, are you able to see? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. This is how does Buddha met Alala Kamala.
तुम्हारे इस त्याग की ऋणी रहेगी। कौन? मेरा नाम सिद्धार्थ है। मैं कपिलवस्तु से आया। यहाँ वन में क्या कर रहे हो? ग्रह त्याग्य है। कितने दिन टिकेगा ये ग्रह त्याग? जब तक ज्ञान पिपासा ना मिट जाए, जब तक प्रश्नों के उत्तर ना मिल जाए। क्यों?
Well, this is not Alala Kamala. Before he successfully met Alala Kamala, he need people introduce him. So this is one of the guy.
शास्त्रों का अध्ययन नहीं,
नेपाल की रक्षा करना, क्या स्वयं को दोषी न ठहराए?
ये रुक जाते हैं। हमें चलना चाहिए। गठन, व्यक्ति विशिष्ट। यदि ध्यान में भी इतनी गति पकड़ी तो अवश्य ही तुम मुझसे बड़े सन्यासी बन जाओगे। यही है गुरुवर अलार कलाम का आश्रम। क्या गुरुवर अलार कलाम मुझे अपना शिष्य बनाएंगे? हाँ, क्यों नहीं, अवश्य बनाएंगे। यदि तुम उनकी परीक्षा में उत्तीर्ण हुए तो। समाधि मार्ग में जितना उनका अध्ययन है, किसी का नहीं। यहाँ तो कोई नहीं।
Applause to the video clip. Okay. Well, according to the legend, the teacher himself, after teaching the meditation, he knows that Shakyamuni can perform better than him. So finally, he asked Shakyamuni to go to look for other teacher. See or not? Then the last teacher, after the meditation, still is the immaterial sphere jhana. But Shakyamuni noticed that this is not ultimate, because once the jhana gone, all the defilements still arise. So he noticed that this is not the ultimate. So he go to under the body tree and he tried to recall the vipassana skills he learns in the previous life. So finally he enlightened and become the Buddha. Okay, so this is why immaterial sphere jhana will appear in our Buddhist text, because Shakyamuni learned the skills before. So, and then once Shakyamuni meditate under the body tree, and the jhana he attained, we call it as a supramande. This is, we call it the consciousness is lokutara. What is the lokutara? Meaning to say that the lokutara is a supramande. Mandate, the definition mandate, meaning to say is the 5 aggregate of a clinging. So where is the 5 aggregate? Yes, Tiongkit, where is the 5? Where are the 5 aggregate?
Our body.
Yes, our body. So supramandate meaning to say that we try to supra this 5 aggregate. So that is the nibbana. So that is the meaning of the consciousness. Okay, we finish here. Now we go to the next paragraph. Yes, Juntat, can you please read the passage with this?
Okay, we thus see the consciousness can be classified by way of plane into 4 broad divisions: sense sphere consciousness, fine material sphere consciousness, immaterial sphere consciousness, and supra-mundane consciousness. Consciousness can also be classified on the basis of other principles beside plane. One principle of classification that plays an important role in the Abhidhamma philosophy is kind of nature. With respect to each nature, consciousness divides into 4 classes: unwholesome, wholesome, resultant, and functional. Unwholesome consciousness, akusala citta, is consciousness accompanied by one or another of the 3 unwholesome roots: greed, hatreds, and illusions. Such consciousness is called unwholesome because it is mentally unhealthy, morally blameworthy, and productive of painful results. Wholesome consciousness, kusala citta, is consciousness accompanied by the wholesome roots: non-greed or generosity, non-hatred or loving kindness, and non-delusion or wisdom. Such consciousness is mentally healthy, morally blameless, and productive of pleasant results. Both wholesome and unwholesome consciousness constitute karma, volitional actions. Those cittas or states of consciousness that arise through the ripening of karma are called resultants, vipaka. These constitute a 3rd class of citta distinct from the former 2, a class that comprises both the results of wholesome karma and the results of unwholesome karma. It should be understood that both karma and its results are purely mental. Karma is volitional activity associated with wholesome or unwholesome cittas. Its results are other cittas which experience the maturation of karma. The 4th class of consciousness, according to the division by way of name, is called in Pali Kiriya or Kriya, rendered here as functional. This type of consciousness is neither karma nor karma resultants. It involves activities, yet these activities is not karmically determined and thus is not capable of producing karma results. Resultant consciousness and functional consciousness are neither wholesome nor unwholesome. Instead, they are classified as indeterminate akaya kata, that is consciousness which cannot be determined in terms of the dichotomy of wholesome and unwholesome.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's heavy rain. Do you need to clean your clothes or not? To keep your clothes or not? 不用收衣服啊？Heavy rain now. raise hand by Zoom, please, if you finish that line. China, is there anyone have done some donation to the earthquake in the Turkey? Can you raise your hand? Anyone have done the donation before? No, you don't do the donation. So serious in Turkey there. Okay, okay. Anyone who discover the news and you feel so pitiful, I mean, to the victims, can you raise your hand? Anyone? Okay, you follow the news. Okay, Popo, you follow the news. Okay, okay, and don't get long. All right. So, okay, Popo, can I ask you a question, Popo? Okay, so Popo, you try to feel pitiful to the victims. Okay, you think this pitiful, or maybe we'll call it as compassionate, mudita. Okay, you think it is a wholesome consciousness or unwholesome consciousness? You think? In the simple, it is good or bad, you think?
Should be good.
Should be good, okay. Why you say it is good? Yeah, Tiongkit, can you help? Why you feel pitiful to the victim is considered good? Why you don't feel it as a bad?
It's a citta of loving kindness.
Yeah, it's a citta loving kindness. Okay, number one, okay, in Buddhism, always we say that there will be some resultant or vipaka. So you think the pitiful will trigger a good resultant or bad resultant? Popo, you think?
Good.
Of course, good. So number one, you will have a good resultant. So the moment you are in the pitiful state, you think it is a wholesome mental or unwholesome mental compared with angry with somebody?
Wholesome.
Wholesome, right? You feel healthy, right? This is a healthy mental state because even though compassionate, sometimes you might cry and touching, but anyway, you will notice that it is even better than angry and the jealous. Am I right? So meaning to say that you feel the healthy mentally, and you know there will be some. We trigger some. We call it as good vipaka, and then okay. So in your heart, we can say that the moment you experience the pity, so you think you are in the hatred or non-hatred citta, or you are in the hatred or non-hatred. You think?
Should be non.
Yeah, of course, non-hatred. No need to think it's a non-hatred. So that's why we come back to the definition here. Class, always, if people call, people will always, it will be very subjective. What does it mean of the wholesome and unwholesome? In Abhidhamma, we have very clear-cut definition. Let's take a look. Number one, why we call it as a wholesome, as just now we mentioned. Number one is a mentally healthy. You see, a wholesome consciousness. Number one is a wholesome growth. Okay, number one is a mentally healthy. See or not? A mentally healthy. Secondly, morally blameless. See or not? So just now, when you feel pitiful to the victims, no people say you are wrong one. Sure, everybody say, oh, you are good. But of course, you should further action with the donation. And the best, please fly to Turkey and pull the victim out. That is even the best. If you do this, no people, it wouldn't be, how to say, here, now you see, morally blameless, quite sure 100% morally blameless if you go there. People say, oh, you are so good. And then finally, through this action, you will have a pleasant result, productive result. Okay, so that's the definition for the wholesome growth. And the unwholesome is the different, is the vice versa, or mentally unhealthy. Like just now we said, if you have a jealousy mind, they will be mentally unhealthy, morally blameworthy. If you notice that, maybe your kids are jealous with other people's success, especially in Chinese New Year gathering, people start to do comparison. Yes, we compare our car, and then we compare our credit card whether it's a platinum or golden. Okay, a lot of comparison. Once after the comparison, the jealousy appears. So sometimes people will feel that, hey, you shouldn't feel jealous. So that's why we call it as blameworthy. Morally blameworthy. Then, of course, this jealousy will be productive of the painful result. Finally, you got a painful result. What painful result? Maybe if you really go to help the victims, possible next life, if you become a victim again, then somebody come and help you. Possible, right? Just an example. Likewise, if you're jealous with people's success, and then you try to make people fail, so maybe in the next life, people also will cause you failure in your career also. So that's how we define wholesome and unwholesome. And remember, whether wholesome and both wholesome and unwholesome, both can create the karma, and the karma is created by volition. So remember, so that's the definition of the karma. So you see in the class we said wholesome and unwholesome both got the karma. You see, it constitutes the karma. It's a volitional action. You see, it will be volitional action. So what does it mean the karma? Once the karma arises and ripen already, it will become a resultant. That's what I say if you try to help the victim, finally once the action ripen, you will become you will be helped. Okay, so that is the meaning for the resultant. Okay, then next let's take a look. So we finished. Last one is the functional. What does it mean as the fourth class functional mean is the kriya. It's neither karma nor karma resultant. Neither karma nor karma resultant. So Celine, what does it mean? Neither karma nor karma resultant. Please answer, you don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, of course you don't know. It doesn't make sense. Neither karma, not karma resultant. So what is it? So it is kriya. Okay, why we should have a kriya? Actually, kriya is specifically for Arahant. Class, remember the diagram just now you read for twice. It is a functional, remember? Remember, not functional? Remember? Yes, there's a functional. Functional meaning to say that once Arahant or Buddha, they do something. Of course, they wouldn't have any karma effect. Why? Because Buddha and Arahant, they don't have next life. So if they don't have next life, what they did, how do we label it? So we call it as a functional, which is neither karma and neither karma nor karma resultant, which caused Sally say, I don't know. And it is within my expectation also. So you see, okay, class for these terms are wholesome, unwholesome, okay, functional, and the resultant. You please memorize it, because these four of the definition will be applied in the whole textbook. You make sure you memorize the whole thing, especially the keyword I highlight for you. Remember very well, very important. Later on, you will lost already. Where is it? So you have to refer back here the definition. Okay, am I make it clear? Am I clear for the fourth definition? Kriya, resultant, wholesome and unwholesome. Clear, Okay, So don't blame me if you confuse later on, because I have created a good karma. I should deserve good resultant. Okay, all right. So later, once you do some, I think a class that if you got time, maybe I keep you some time for some recapitulation. I think you need it. Okay. I think maybe somebody get confusing already. Anyone start confusing? Can you raise your hand? The confused one. You're not confusing. Okay, good lah. So we further Okay, now if you're not confusing, now we go to the unwholesome consciousness 12. Okay, you can find it in the diagram we first read. Okay, for double. Okay, so this is the number one is the consciousness root in the grid. totally got 8. Okay, ignore the Pali. Let's take a look to the English. Okay, if you go through the English, totally there will be 8. You'll be able to see some rules and regulation behind this 8. Please analyze it now. Okay, once you finish, go through the 8 and analyze the rules and regulation. Please raise hand by Zoom. Okay. Raise hand, please, even though you have no idea. Doesn't matter. Huh? You can't see the rules and regulation behind, it doesn't matter. Huh? One people finish. Okay, 2 people finish, 3 people finish. Okay. 4, okay. So more than half already. Yes, Hui Ping, what is the rules and regulation you discover, please?
Rule and regulations. I think these 8 are all, I think, really, because the last phrase says that the 8 types of consciousness are accompanied by greed. So all these are sort of not good things to do. But I do not know what is the rules here. It's just like there are similarity. Well, they are all accompanied by joys.
Yeah. That is the rules of regulation. Okay. So number 1, either accompanied by joy or what?
Joy and equanimity.
Yes, this is number 1. They got the feeling 1.
Yeah.
So number 2nd one, associate with what?
Associate with wrongdoing, wrong view.
Yeah, either associate or what?
Or disassociated.
Yes, either associate or disassociate. Those is the 2nd rules and regulation. The 3rd one is
prompted, unprompted.
Yes, unprompted or prompted. Okay, so this is the rules and regulation as I mentioned. Yeah, applause to Hui Ping. Okay, yeah, very good. Okay, class, basically for all diagram, you have to go through by yourself and find out the rule by yourself. Or you will give up because it's too boring already. You have to make it as a game for yourself. So by noticing all this, we see, by noticing all this, so we go through the passage guide to the number 4. Yes, Tiongkit, can you please read the passage? Unwholesome consciousness.
Unwholesome consciousness. In analyzing unwholesome consciousness, the Abhidhamma first classifies it by way of its most prominent root, Mula Hetu, whether greed lobha, hatred, dosa, or delusion, moha. Greed and hatred, according to the Abhidhamma, are mutually exclusive. They cannot coexist within the same citta. Thus, those states of consciousness in which greed is the principal root are termed cittas rooted in greed, of which 8 are enumerated. Those states in which hatred is principal root are termed cittas rooted in hatred, of which 2 are enumerated. The third unwholesome root, delusions, is present in every state of unwholesome consciousness. Thus, in those citta rooted in greed and in those rooted in hatred, delusion is also found as an underlying root. Nevertheless, there are types of consciousness in which delusions arise without the accompaniment of greed and hatred. These cittas, 2 in number, are called consciousness involving sheer delusion or cittas rooted in delusion.
Okay, thank you so much.
Consciousness rooted.
Never mind. We can stop here. We try to digest here. Okay. Okay, class, once you finish highlight, we go back to Form 5 mathematics. Please use the concept of the set and subset to denote the greed, hatred, and delusion. Remember in Form 5, okay, so for example, let's see whether I put it right or not. So this is a subset. I see or not? This is a subset, okay? Can you please use the concept of the subsets to represent the meaning between the greed, hatred, and the delusion? Can you please try it now? So meaning to say there will be 3 circles, one for greed, one for hatred, one for stupid. So what is the relation between these 3 circles? Please draw it up. We go back to Form 5 mathematics. Math C, I remember. Okay, Raise hand, please, once you finish. Okay, 2 people finish. Three people finish. 4 people finish. Hey, quickly, Sally and Guan San. Okay, let's check the result. See, it's supposed to be result like this. Okay, see, okay, the big outside the big one is supposed to be the delusion. Okay, then this is the anger. One is the anger, one is the greedy. Both shouldn't be superimposed because they cannot have a relationship. So it's supposed to be in this way. So sometimes one there's a greedy must be include the delusion. Hatred must include the delusion. But sometimes delusion can exist by itself. Anybody get it correct? Please raise your hand. Sally and Hui Ping and Tiong Kit and Chun Tak. Okay, 4 people get it correct. Okay, 100 marks for mathematics C form 5. Actually, it's nothing to do with the form 5 max C. It's the concept. So please draw it correctly. So class, let's take a look. You check why do we say so? You see, because you see great hatred mutually exclusive. That's why these 2 circles they shouldn't superimpose. You see or not? And then they cannot coexist. And then you see or not? For everyone, they must be rooted. Every state of delusion present for all unwholesome consciousness, and sometimes there will be citta root in delusion only. Okay, so that's how the diagram you should draw it. So now we go to the consciousness root in the grid. You have a question? Yes.
Yes. So I just can't understand why is it that hatred and anger cannot coexist? What is the reason? How can we give an example of how the 2 cannot coexist?
You mean greed and hatred cannot coexist, right? Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay, because the moment when you are greedy, you won't angry. For example, now you are very greedy. You are eat what? Durian season. Okay, you eat durian now. You will angry at the same time. Okay, the moment you greedy, then later on, maybe the durian is a little bit hard, quality not that good, then you feel angry. But you wouldn't be at the same time. So the first moment you feel greedy, wow, very delicious texture is good. Then later on, once you discover that, oh, not that good, later on, then you start to turn out angry already. Okay, so once you open another durian, oh, good quality again, then you feel greedy again. See or not? So greedy and hatred, they won't come together one. That must, because abhidhamma, the concept is for every single conscious, there only one conscious arise only. There won't be 2 conscious together. So even though sometimes people cry and laugh and cry, but there is a sequence, right? Once the moment he laugh, after laughing, then he start to cry again. After cry, then he laugh again. So that's why there must be some sequence. Okay, Chun Tak. So
okay, got it.
Thanks. Can I ask you back? Can you create an example who angry and greedy at the same time? Can you create an example to me?
Actually, so just now your analogy is good, based on the durian. Because when you really, if the durian is not nice, you get angry. Once you get angry, you wouldn't be ready to eat more, because that one is already not good durian. That itself is a good analogy.
Yeah, you think, yeah. But of course, sometimes if you keep on open, not bad then your mood change again. Sometimes people could come in this way, the mood is so drastic. But basically, once the anger appear, maybe you want to stop the durian session anymore. I don't eat already. Mostly people like that. But if you're able to change the mood, shift like this, then it can come in this way. Okay, so that is the meaning. Okay, whereas no matter greedy or angry or not, both must include the delusion. You know later, we'll give you the definition of delusion. And sometimes delusion can exist by itself. So we begin with the this consciousness root in the greed. Yes, okay, yeah. Hui Ping, can you please read the passage? Consciousness.
Consciousness rooted in greed. Loba Mulatritani. The Abhidhamma begins its analysis of the three classes of unwholesome consciousness by distinguishing the different chittas rooted in greed, as greed is always mentioned first among the unwholesome roots. The Pali word loba includes all varieties of greed ranging from intense passion or cupidity to subtle liking and attachment. Consciousness rooted in greed is divided into 8 types of the basis of 3 principles of dichotomization. One of the concomitant feeling, vedana, whether a feeling of joy or equanimity. The second is the presence or absence of wrong view. The third is the considerations whether the citta is prompted or unprompted. From the permutations of these 3 distinctions, 8 types of consciousness are obtained. Accompanied by joy, somanasasahagata. The word somanasa, joy, is derived from su, pleasant plus manas, equals to mind. Thus, it means literally a pleasant mental state. Somanasa is a type of feeling, specifically pleasant mental feeling. All consciousness is accompanied by some feeling, which may be bodily or mental, pleasant, painful, or neutral. Somanasa is a feeling which is mental rather than bodily, and pleasant rather than painful or neutral. The feeling accompanies sahagata, this type of consciousness, in that it is inextricably blended with it, just as when the waters of 2 rivers meet, they blend together and cannot be distinguished. The Abhidhamma describes 4 citta rooted in greed that are accompanied by joy. The other 4 cittas in this class are accompanied by equanimity. I do not know how to pronounce. The word upekkha is often used in the Pali text to signify the lofty spiritual quality of equanimity or impartiality. The state of mind which cannot be swayed by biases and preferences. Here, however, the word is used simply to mean neutral feeling, a mental feeling which leans neither towards gladness nor dejection, in contrast to pleasant and painful feelings, which experience the object in diametrically opposed ways. Upekkha experiences the object in a neutral manner. Thus, upekkha or equanimous feeling is also called adukha-masukha vidana, neither painful nor pleasant feeling.
Okay, thank you so much. So next, Sally, can you please read it? Associated with wrong view.
Associated with wrong view. Having divided the greed-rooted consciousness into 2 classes on the basis of feeling, as accompanied by joy or by equanimity, the text again divides the same consciousness on the basis of its relationship to wrong view. The word ditta, ditti, means view, and unless it's specified by the prefix sama, right, it generally refers to the wrong view. Wrong view accompanies the consciousness rooted in greed as a conviction, belief, opinion, or rationalization. The view may either reinforce the attachment from which the consciousness springs by providing it with rational justification, or the view itself may be an object of attachment in its own right. Wrong view is associated with 4 types of consciousness in all, 2 accompanied by joy, 2 accompanied by equanimity. The other 4 are disassociated from wrong view. in that greed operates in them without any accompanying justification provided by the view. Unprompted. The third differentiating principle of consciousness rooted in greed is the presence or absence of prompting. The multi-significant word sankhara is used here in the sense specific to abhidhamma to mean prompting, instigation, inducement, or the application of an expedient. This prompting may be imposed by others, or it may originate from within oneself. The means employed may be bodily, verbally, or purely mental. The instigation is bodily when someone induces us to bodily beings to give rise to particular types of consciousness, which may issue in corresponding actions. It is verbal when it means employed in another command or power of possession. And it is mental when either by reflection or the determination of the will. We make this deliberate endeavor despite inner resistance to generate certain types of consciousness. Prompting can be associated with either unwholesome or wholesome states of consciousness, as will be shown below. That consciousness which arises spontaneously without prompting or inducement by expedient means is called unprompted. That consciousness which arises with prompting or inducement by expedient means is called prompted. In the greed-rooted class of consciousness, 4 types are unprompted or spontaneous, and 4 types are prompted or induced.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hui Ping, we pronounce as Ubeka Sahakata. Just like Malay lah, pronounce like Bahasa Malaysia, that will be fine. Okay, finish. Okay, we need an example to make things clear. Okay. Okay, class, let's take a look to the guide number 7. Guide to 7. Okay. Okay, like just now, what Hui Ping we highlight the sentences. Basically, the consciousness we say. I mean, the way we express the consciousness, you feel quite awkward if you talk to somebody without learning abhidhamma. So basically, like for example, Sally, okay, you made a fruit cake for me in the Chinese New Year. So number one, it is accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity once you are making the cake.
By joy.
By joy. Okay, somebody, you are induced by somebody or you do by yourself.
I do by myself.
So it is prompt or unprompt?
No, it's not prompted.
So it is unprompt, right? Okay, all right. So once you make the cake, do you think there's some wrong will behind?
No. No.
Okay. I think that's a wrong example because what you do is a good deed, But for example, let's say, okay, I just make fun only, For example, Sally, you make the cake, you put some poison, so you hope that I will die, For example,
wow.
Okay, so okay, if let's say you don't believe with the karma effect, so you are disassociated with the wrong will. Okay, because you don't have the you don't think if I die, then you won't die. You will die. So that is dissociated with the wrong will. But if let's say you know that, this is dissociated with the wrong will. For those with the associated with the wrong will, meaning to say that you know that there will be the cause and effect. You have a belief that there will be the cause and effect. That is if you think there is no cause and effect, that will be the wrong will. So maybe if Sally you think okay, 你死你嘅事，我唔會有事. So that will be associated with the wrong will. So meaning to say, Sally make a cake with the one consciousness accompanied by joy, and then associate with the wrong will. I'm proud to make me a cake, a fruit cake. Okay, but luckily I will not die. Okay, I'm not die. Okay, so that is how we use. For example, it's the text. So now we come here. Okay, guide to 7. Okay, okay, Tiongke, can you please read the number 1 with joy?
With joy, holding the view that there is no evil in stealing, a boy spontaneously steals an apple from a fruit stall.
Okay, so for this, this is accompanied by equanimity or joy.
Joy.
Yes, there's associated with the wrong will and dissociated with the wrong will.
Associated with wrong will.
Yes, because no evil in stealing he think, so it's spontaneous, it is prompt or unprompt.
Prompt, not sure.
No. You have to know definition of prompt and unprompt first. Remember, prompt meaning to say you induced by somebody. People say, hey, go and steal that. Doesn't matter. So this spontaneous meaning to say is yes, unprompt. Okay,
yes.
Unprompted. Okay, so second again, Guan San. Okay, please come. Okay, can you read number 2, Guan San?
With joy holding the same view, he steals an apple through the prompting of a friend.
Okay, so this is the one consciousness accompanied by what?
With joy,
Yes, associate with the wrong will and dissociate with the wrong will.
Through the prompting of should be prompt, right?
No. Associate with the wrong will and dissociate with the wrong will.
Holding the same view.
There is no evil in stealing. It is a wrong view. No evil in stealing. It is a wrong view. If you believe no evil in stealing,
Yeah.
yes, this is a wrong view. So associate with the wrong view. Then prop or unprop? Propping of the friend mean prop or unprop?
Prop means someone influence, right?
Yes.
So this should be prompt
Yes, it should be
because
prop.
prompting a friend.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this is how are we going to use the example for this case lah. So this is how we are going to use it. But of course lah, generally to apply to your member in your Buddhist association, they think you've got something wrong because we are not used to express in this way. But we know this is how we judge one people's action. Basically, you see if you have joy and without the joy, you think which is more power? I mean, which is more encouraging? The action with the joy and without the joy, Yes, Popo. Popo, the action with the joy and equanimity, which one is more encouraging you to repeat?
I think should be with joy.
Yes, why you think so long? It is because lacking in the internet. Yes, of course. If you don't feel joy, you won't repeat. You feel joy. We feel joy in gambling, so we keep on gambling. We feel joy in eating, we keep on eating. So must be the joy, right? So meaning to say, number one, either you have a joy or don't have the joy. You have the joy, you have more encouraging to do the thing. Okay, and then secondly, maybe in the very beginning, you are proud. People say, I go gambling Chinese New Year once a while only. Okay, you don't have the joy. But once you get the joy already, second time, you will be from prop to unprop. Okay, once you keep on gambling, I think you must have a wrong view that the money I lose, I think I can win back finally. Do you think it is a wrong view? Yes, it's a wrong view. Quite sure it's a wrong view. So finally, you lose the more you lose. Okay, so that is the wrong view lah. Okay, so this is how we use it in the context. Next time you can analyze this. If you raise up this type of the greedy. Okay, so one homework for you. Please think for three example in Chinese New Year. Maybe two example will be good in the Chinese New Year. The example is supposed to be in this way. Okay, please. Okay, please come back here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so one example is number one. Okay, accompanied by joy associated with the wrong view and prop. Okay, then one more example is number 8. Okay, accompanied by equanimity dissociate from the wrong view and prop. Okay, this one number 1 is unprop. The last one 8 is a prop. So please give me example. For both number 1 and number 8. Okay, in Chinese New Year. Okay, so please don't write any secrecy. Just write something you can disclose to the people. Maybe include some joke inside. Okay, so that's the class for